Welcome to Keep It Electric with Tremayne Person, Episode 9, brought to you by Sonic Shore. At the time of this recording, it is Monday afternoon, June the 12th. The Seattle Mariners are sitting at 31 wins and 33 losses, fourth place in the AL West, 10 games behind those 41 and 23 Texas Rangers. The Mariners are coming off another series loss, this time to the Angels, as they took 2 out of 3 games from the M's. The series was quite the roller coaster we have become accustomed to as of late. Some downright horrible looking moments, and then some sputters of brilliance flashed in between. One of the last things I expected going into this series was the catalyst of our demise coming at the hands of the Angels youngsters Zach Neto and Mickey Moniak. They made sure we remembered who they were by the end of this series. Let's start with Game 1. That was pretty entertaining. It was a matchup between the aces of the clubs, Luis Castillo and Shohei Ohtani. Jarred Kelenic continued his insane ability to hit Ohtani, hitting a 2-run shot off of him in the first inning. Ohtani, as well as he knows how, responded well with a 2-run shot of his own in the bottom of the third inning, tying the game at 2 apiece. The teams traded another run in the 4th and the 5th, respectively, and then Mickey freaking Moniak smashed a 2-run shot off of Castillo, moving the score 3-5. Mike Ford may have bought himself another week or two on the main roster with a solo shot in the top of the 9th, but it wasn't enough to extend the game as we lose this one 4-5. Final line for Luis Castillo: 6 innings pitched, 5 runs, 3 of them earned, 1 walk, struck out 10. In those 6 innings, Luis Castillo did decide that he wanted to go fishing, caught himself 3 trout, if you follow. That was fun to see. Game 2 was something we'd like to see more of, as the Mariners hit a new season high with 16 total hits. J.P. Crawford was fantastic, 4-hit outing. Julio and Gino both with 3 hits respectively as well. Julio hit his 12th home run of the season in the 3rd inning off of Patrick Sandoval, and the Mariners never relinquished the lead after scoring 3 runs in the top of the 3rd. Brian Woo looked great in his 2nd career start, aggressively going after the batters and also catching himself a trout. The only runs he allowed was a ridiculous 2-run shot hit by Shohei Ohtani. We know that guy. And it was a rather unique home run to the skill of Ohtani. Brian Woo did nothing wrong in that at-bat. The first time he faced Ohtani, he actually attacked Ohtani with Ohtani's own strengths. He was just hitting him fastball high. The second time against Ohtani, he actually was doing slider in, which is a really great adjustment for him, because in his first outing, he was going backdoor slider, and that was just getting rocked. He was delivering that slider way in on Ohtani, in on the knees. The first one was in on the knees. The second one was another slider in on the knees, way in, and Ohtani turned on that thing and launched it. That moved the game 3-2. The Mariners still held on to that thing, though, winning the game 6-2. Final line for Brian Woo: 4 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earns, 1 walk, 7 Ks, and 1 trout. Game 3. Yes, Scott Service opted to give Bryce Miller another day of rest and have Logan Gilbert take the mound in hopes of getting a series win. In theory, this all makes sense, but it did not work out for us. An uncharacteristic outing for Logan Gilbert, as the Angels beat him down immediately. Gilbert never really had it in this one. The Angels blasted him for 6 runs in the first 3 innings. Taylor Ward homered on the second pitch of Gilbert's outing, and it was all downhill from there. Final line for Gilbert: 3 innings pitched, 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 Ks. You know, one thing that I think is a worthy call out here is that the Mariners remained patient at the plate throughout all of this. I actually never thought that we were really out of the game at any point until we saw Chris Flexen come in after he closed out the bottom of the 7th. They brought him back out in the bottom of the 8th. And I thought that was pretty much, I know the game's close to over, but I thought that was pretty much a sign of packing it in, because sure enough, Zach freaking Neto hits his second home run of the game, solo shot, and then Brandon Drury singles Taylor Ward home. Game ends 4-9. The Mariners' woes continue. However, I don't look at this series as big of a loss as the last couple series, because at least we saw a shift with the Mariners' plate approach. The patience was great. In particular, Teoscar Hernandez, he's got an on-base streak going on right now. I think he's actually got on base in every game this month, which is a huge sign. He was having way too many strikeouts earlier. And J.P. Crawford looks like he's getting going. And when J.P. Crawford is going, the team follows. He's a great leader. So to see him have the tough at-bats that he normally has, but actually just some really nice, solid singles. He's barreling up the ball well. He barreled it up a lot during that series. And everyone else, it looks like, is starting to follow suit. So I think we're right. We're about to be on the cusp of these bats ending their hibernation. But we are taking on a very streaky Miami Marlins team starting tonight. The Miami Marlins are 37-29. They have won 8 out of their last 10 games. They're in a solid second place in the NL East, 3.5 back behind the Atlanta Braves. The Marlins look good. Now, granted, they have played the Royals, and they have played the Athletics, and they have played the White Sox. But I don't think there was an expectation of the Marlins really being a lot right now, especially with Jazz out. So if you watch baseball, we totally understand how momentum works. The Marlins have momentum. We don't have momentum. The 3 starters we have taken or projected to take the mound in the series are Bryce Miller, George Kirby, and Luis Castillo. Luis Castillo, he struck out 10 in this last series, but he allowed 3 runs. 5 of them were, but 5 total. 3 of them were earned. But all 3 of these guys are coming off of what they would consider a pretty rocky start. Bryce Miller, 2 rocky starts. So I don't want to say these pitchers are coming in with momentum, but I have a feeling with these bats waking up and these pitchers really wanting some redemption because they had some uncharacteristic outings. I'm going to say that we're going to win this series. I can feel it. We're going to win this series. I'm going to be back here on Thursday telling you and showing you how happy I am because I knew that we were going to win the series. And if we don't win the series, I'll probably just be sad. I'll just face it. I'll just be sad. With that said, don't forget to cast your all-star votes. You can vote 5 times a day in a 24-hour span. Vote for your Seattle Mariners. If you have any questions, email me at keepitelectricwithtrey, Tre, @gmail.com. Tune in. Watch the Mariners win this series. Keep it electric. Go Mariners.